Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7. Today we're going to talk about our wish list for ML5s, for regular units, for 4-star ML units, just for stuff that I really want on my account, and talking about why, and we're going to rank them because that's really fun. Speaking of your wish list, one of the best places to add stuff to your wish list is Amazon, and our sponsor of the day for this episode is going to be Amazon Coins and Prime Day 2019. Prime Day is here! Yay! For a limited time, Marvel Strike Force players who are Prime members can purchase a $29.99 pack for 67% off through the App Store for Android. Remember, you can also get $50 in Amazon Coins for only $35 with Amazon's latest deal for Prime Day. So if you're playing Marvel Strike Force, and you want to get more orbs at even a greater discount, make sure to take advantage of this Prime Day and save even more money. You can click the link in the description below to check out the Prime Day deals for other games as well. If you play Guns of Glory, Clash of Kings, Summoner's War, Hearthstone, Final Fantasy Brave, Exvius, Alchemist Codes, and so many others, you can get a bunch of their currency much cheaper than in-game. So this deal is available in the US only, and Amazon Coins themselves are available in the US, UK, Germany, France, Spain, Australia, and Japan. On to my wish list, folks. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the list of 5 stars. The greens are the ones I got, and the ones that are white are the ones I do not have. So this was my first list I made. Haste number 1, Ken number 15. This is my second list. Isaria number 1, Kayron down at the bottom. Ken moved up a little bit. And now we're gonna go look into the rest. Let's hop into the game and look at these one more time real quick here. So down at the bottom of the list, the last one I'm interested in is our boy Ludwig. I've just never liked this guy. His voice just kind of bothers me. It just doesn't seem right. And I don't think I have a use for him, especially without Crimson Armin. So he's going to stay at the bottom in number 9. And number 8 for me is really sad too, because it's somebody I do really want. I love his design. I love his VA. He's great, but unfortunately, I just can't find a place for him. He's just not in a good spot right now. But that's bizarre. He's number 8 on my list. I really wanted to put him up further, and if I get him randomly, I'm gonna be really happy, but I wouldn't ever pull for him if it came to it. Next up is Ken, and I understand Ken is one of the best units in the game right now, especially for Guild Wars and stuff like that, but I just don't like him. I actually built Corvis. Hopefully Corvis is doing well by the time this video comes out, but I just didn't want to build him. I don't like his attitude. He's kind of a jerk. And I understand he's amazing, but he's just not for me. And I also don't have the gear for him, which is why Ken is sitting there at number 7 on my list. And somebody that I personally thought would be higher, but is not. And that is, if we can find him, he's gone. It's all over. Kayron. I love Kayron. I love his design. I love his skill set. I really like everything about him, but there's just so many other units I'd like to use, especially Thieves. I have a lot of Thieves I really like. So he's kind of sitting there at number 6, just doing his own thing. If I get him, I'll be really happy, but overall, just not exactly stoked for him and wouldn't actively pull for him. Next on the list, despite her taking 1,500 bookmarks from me and not coming home, she's only my 5th on the list right now. That's kind of because she's just not the greatest, but in terms of her design, her outfit, her shoes, her everything, her little flower, everything about her is just perfect, except for her skills, because she's not very good right now. But hopefully that changes in the future, and hopefully she'll come back, and hopefully she'll surprise me. In terms of actual design, I think she's number 1 or 2 on the list, but I had to put her a little lower since I didn't think she would be as fun to use. Next on the list is somebody I've wanted since basically day 1, who just got a buff. If we can find her, that is Ravi. I've always really liked Ravi. I love the design. I love that she is just a bruiser. I really enjoy using bruisers, and I like that she got better, especially since I really didn't enjoy before how I couldn't use her skill 3 too much. I had to kind of just auto attack. That was a little boring. But now I'm really happy with her, and I hope she comes home. If she does get a banner, I probably am going to be pulling for Ravi, just because I feel like I have the gear for her, and I really really want to use her a little more. So Ravi is sitting there at number 4. And let me know in the comments below how close you are to guessing my top. This is a top 9 list right now. And again, this isn't based on best units. This is based on my want for them. So I'm not ranking them better than the others. They're just who I specifically am hoping for. Number 3 on the list is Chloe. And Chloe is one of those designs that I love, and I wouldn't use her right now. But the fact that she has Magic Bolt, something that I just want so bad, that I think is going to be so great, but just I don't know when. And it kind of depends on how they design things. If they keep making everything dispellable and immune to debuffs and everything like that, she'll never find a place to shine. But there will come a time where we get to throw that nail on there, and she just does infinity damage. And that's what I want her there for. So until there's another magic nailer in the game, she's always going to be near the top of my list for who I'm interested in. And there's 2 left. 2 left. Number 2 on the list. This hurt. You know, putting Sigrid on number 2 really hurt. She's got quite possibly one of my favorite designs in the game, if not maybe my favorite. Like, I love her hair, I love her glasses, I love her outfit. Just so perfect. And I love the new upgrade she got. I don't think she's amazing or anything, but just I don't even know the elegance of her abilities and everything like that. They're just so cool, and I really want her on my team. I want to use Smash on her so bad. It's just gonna be so great if I can ever get her in my Wyvern 11 team or something like that. I'm just so excited to have her surprise me. And every time I get a 5-star and it's something I already have, like a dupe Violet instead of a Sigrid, I just cry, because she's one of the ones I want so bad, and I don't think I could afford to summon for her if she got a new banner. Number 1 on the list. Did you guys guess? Number 1 on my most wanted list is a guy. It is Charles. I have so much good gear for Charles. I have like the best gear for Charles. I spent about 500 bookmarks on him and didn't get him, and I'm just kind of sad about it. He's just got such a great skill set. I think I need him a little less now with Lilbeth, since I know they're not the same by any stretch of the imagination, but they kind of fit a lot of the same things I plan to do with them. But I would really like Charles, and Charles is one I would summon for if he got a new banner, just because he's got one of the best skill 3s in the game. He sits and drinks tea. Everything about him is just absolutely flippin' fantastic. So that is all the non-Moonlight units I'm hoping for. So let's go into the Moonlights now. And just to be really clear here, that's the list for you if you want to read it out. But let's look at Moonlight. So the top one is my first ever wish list I did. You can see I have 0 of the ML5s greened there. The second one is the second list I did. I think I did this back in February, so 5 months ago. And you can see I still have 0 ML5s filled in there. Crimson Armin stayed at number 1 both times. Fighter Maya jumped up a ton, but overall about the same. My ML5 list jumped all over the place. So now let's take a look at our Moonlight 4-stars first. These videos are always so much fun for me to make. I don't know why. I just really enjoy talking about the units, and I like that you guys have to kind of guess which ones I'm hoping for, because it just makes it so much more interesting. Okay, so we're gonna do Moonlight 4-stars first. The number 6 on the list of ones I want, the last one is actually Shadow Rose. I just don't have a place for Shadow Rose anymore. I don't think I would use her, and I kind of like regular Rose better. So I just don't really need her anymore, which is why she's all the way down number 6 on my list. Number 5 on my list, I can't believe this guy beat somebody, but Champion Zerato beat Shadow Rose just because he's a little unique, and I probably would build him just because I think I have the gear for him. But I'm just not sure how good he is yet, and I would like to try him out, but he's not somebody I would ever really gun for. So that's why he's sitting at number 5 on the list. And number 4 on the list, Assassin Sid. I still don't really care about this guy too much. But he does have like 128 base speed. Yeah, 128 base speed, which is just kind of nutters. And I think that's enough to really try building him as is. So I would love to play around with this guy. I don't have any dupe Sids though, so I'm just not sure, but that's kind of why he's sitting there at number 4. Number 3 on the list is Crescent Moon Rin. And this is really sad to put her here because I love her design. Her moon is the coolest thing ever. Just the way her hair flows, the coloration, everything's fantastic except for her. Right now, I don't really like her. If I ever fight Crescent Moon Rin in PvP, she's just like a complete and total joke. Maybe there's a time later where she'll be good, but right now, even with 126 speed and immunity buffs and everything like that and stealing buffs, she just like is not in a good spot. But I feel like she's so unique that I would just really like to test her out, especially in like Guild Wars offense. Maybe I could find a use for her there. Overall, I'm just not quite sure on her, and that is kind of why she's sitting at number 3. And number 2 on the list. The last two are both light, and you can see which two I'm missing: Fighter Maya or Crimson Armin. And number 2 on the list is gonna be Crimson Armin. She's insane. Like, what else can we say? She's basically the most ridiculously busted unit in the game right now. And she causes everybody so many problems, and I've wanted her since day one because obviously she's pink. I love that. She's got a huge shield. But, you know, it's gonna be past her time soon, you know? She's gotta get a nerf soon. She just kind of has to. She's too good. And she's not as fun as number 1 on the list. And number 1 on the list is possibly the most fun unit in the game, and I have insane gear for her. So I desperately want to get Fighter Maya because holy heck is her skill set just so cool, especially after doing TOA 95. Getting just absolutely batted out of the park was so much fun. So that's why I love Fighter Maya. She's number 1 on my list, and I think she's going to stay number 1 on my most wanted list until I get her. Like, I can't see too many coming out that I'm gonna like more than Fighter Maya. Okay, on to the juicy bits. There are 11 not 5 MLs, I believe, and we have to go through every single one of them because I have 0. So number 11 on the list. A lot of you that have been on the stream know this already, but for the ones that haven't been, don't yell at me. Just because he's last on my list of wants does not mean he's bad. ML Ken is still bonkers, but he's just not somebody I want. I don't like his playstyle, I don't like his attitude, and he just doesn't look as fun for me. Although he would be kind of hilarious just to like body some teams and give them the best gear. I have to imagine that would be pretty fun. But when compared to a lot of the other units, I just feel like I would rather have them instead. So number 10 on the list is Arbiter Vildred. And, you know, he's insane now. Like, we all know that. And I really do want him. But when I was comparing him with other units on the list, I just feel like this guy was just pure damage, and a lot of that wasn't fun. So that's kind of why he's so far down on the list. And I just really like regular Vildred. So I ended up putting this guy at number 10. And a big thing for me was he felt kind of just like regular Vildred, but better. And that just feels kind of weird for me. I know that's weird saying with somebody you might have predicted being on this list later, because it's kind of the same thing there, but that's kind of why he's sitting at number 10. Number 9 is... Ooh, he's light. Spec Says. A lot of people are really unhappy with Specimen Says, but I'm not one of them. I think he's got a unique skill set. I think he's pretty solid. I don't think he's broken by any means, but I think he's in the spot where there's so many people complaining about him that it might lead to a buff soon, and I really like it when they buff stuff, because they just overbuff the hell out of them, and then they're insane. So I feel like Spec Says will be good just for that, and I do love his design, of course, too. So next up on the list, Spec Says was number 9, so we're gonna go into number 8. And this is gonna be a tough one for a lot of people to swallow, and that's Rule of Light. She is number 8 for me just because she doesn't seem fun. She is absolutely insane, but the amount of fun she'll add to my team, I don't think it's going to be up there, you know? Like, she's going to be really great at Guild Wars. She's going to be holding my fort. She's going to be doing all that stuff, but she's not fun, in quotes, you know? Like, she doesn't do something exciting. She doesn't make my dungeons more exciting. She doesn't make my farming more exciting. She just doesn't make things more exciting, and that's why she's sitting at number 8 for me. Ooh, I'm running out of breath. Number 7 is going to be Meg Chloe. This sucks to put Meg Chloe down here. The reason why Meg Chloe is down this far is because I've already used her on one of my alt accounts, and I've used her extensively there. I love her to death, but I just don't know really where I would use her at this point. I don't think she's one of the best units. I think she's one of the worst MLs. Maybe a little better after her buff, but I've just used her already, so I don't want her as much because of that, but I obviously would be through the moon if I got Meg Chloe. Number 6 is Sage, Bale, and Sazan. I actually wish he was worse so less people had him, because I love him. Like, he's so cool looking. He's just so creepy, and I hated him to start with. But the more I read into his story, I just kind of fell in love because it's so hilariously ridiculous. Like, Sage Bale fell in love with an ordinary human named Sazan and locked her soul in a doll to preserve her for himself forever. However, as time passed, her soul eroded away, and eventually she became simply a normal doll. Like, how messed up is this guy? This guy is just all sorts of screwed up, and I love that. Kind of reminds me of me IRL right now. But I love Sage, Bale, and Sazan. Rank 6, looking awesome. Number 5 on the list is our boy, Dark Corvis. So he's really high on my list, and I might have even put him higher. I love his skill set, I guess. He's just so cool. The fact that he just bodies people, and the better our gear gets, the better he gets, just makes me really happy. Just the stuff I would be able to do with Dark Corvis, both in PvE, in PvP, in Guild Wars, and everywhere, like every little bit of the game, I feel is just so cool. And I would absolutely love to have him on my team, especially with people like Isaria and stuff like that. I just really like him now. I really disliked him at the start because of his story, but the more I read into his story, the more I started to like it. So that's why my kind of reaction around Dark Corvis went from really crappy to really good. So he is sitting at number 5. Number 4 is our girl Kaisa. Judge Kaisa. She was once number 1 on my list, and she is so cool. But she's dropped a lot since regular Kaisa came out, and that's because she feels the exact same to me. Obviously, they're two entirely different units. They do completely different things, and this one is specialized kind of for PvP, but their animations, their skill 2s, their skill 1s, it's all just kind of similar. So that makes me kind of not as happy with her, and that's why she's down at number 4. Jugs Keys is just a little bit lower on my list because of that. I do think she's much better with her buffs, but I don't know if it's enough. But I think she would be really fun to use, which is why she's still up this high. But I think the ones further on this list are gonna be way more fun. And speaking of way more fun, it kind of hurts to put this person at number 3 because I think she deserves like tied for number 1 slot, and that's Spectre Tenebria. I think she's got one of the coolest passives in the game right now. I just super love this, and I think they made her so much fun with this ability, and I cannot wait. If I get Spectre Tenebria, I will be so happy, just because she adds so much depth to your team, so much fun, so much uniqueness, and that's kind of what I'm hitching on here. If you haven't noticed, I really like when somebody adds a different style of gameplay to your game, and that is Spectre Tenebria for me. She's number 3. I'm sad she's not higher, but the next 2 up are just so amazing that I had to put her number 3. Number 2, Fallen Cecilia, and she is so cool. I love white dresses. I'm a huge fan of white dresses like this, like the white dress black hair theme here, especially with the shades of purple, is just so amazing. And the fact that her abilities are called Mistake and like Spear of Resentment and Strong Instinct, that's just so cool to me, and I hope I get her. We have a little bit longer until she's out of the Mystic pool. We still have a chance, albeit very low. I would use her in a lot of places, maybe not PvE, but probably all ranges of PvP. And a lot of people are not really happy with her sprites here, but I love it. It's one of my favorite sprites in the game, and I think it's so cool. I love her to death, and I hope she comes home. She's actually my favorite outside of Araminta unit right now in the game, I think, like regular Cecilia. I'm having so much fun with her, which is why Fallen just pops up so high here. And finally, Silverblade Araminta. It's hard to not put her at number 1. She's insane. AoE, stun, bleeds everywhere. So many combo attacks. Best designed character in the game. Tons of snaps. My waifu. Cannot go wrong with our girl, Silverblade Araminta. And I don't know if I'll ever get her. Like, at this point, with her being out of Mystic rotations, the chances are pretty low, but it's still there, and I'm still praying for her, and I would be over the moon if I ended up getting Silverblade Araminta, so we have to hope. Anyways, that's the entire list here. People have been asking me for this updated list for a while, which is why I decided to do it now. Really appreciate you watching. Here's the final list. And just to be clear, I would be 11 out of 10 happy to get basically any of these 10 on the list. Like, I would be beyond stoked. Instant 15 Molagora, instant 6-star, instant use everywhere if I got anybody on this list. The only one I would be sad in quotes for is ML Ken, just because of my distaste for his character. But I would be almost just as happy getting like a Spec Says as a Tenebria, for example, just because I just want one so bad and I want to play with one, and I just cannot wait. So while my ordering is here, I'm going to be happy no matter what. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always. Get some Amazon coins in the link description below, and I'll talk to y'all later. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.